Hello, I'm Lise Colucci, and I'm one of the life coaches at queenbeing.com, where we discover, understand, overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. Happy day after Thanksgiving if you're in America, and if not, happy Friday. I am going to talk today about gratitude. So before we get started, if you have any questions or need any support or information on narcissistic abuse recovery or narcissistic abuse itself, head over to queenbeing.com, where there's lots of information over there. If you need any help with coaching, information and access to schedule for coaching is over there as well. And remember that I have, for another month here, 35% off one-on-one coaching. So that is available over at queenbeing.com. Information is down below in the main description of every video. And if you guys want texting notifications of my going live, text me at 33222 and put the word Lise Live, LISELIVE, and hit send, and I'll text you about 10 minutes prior. So hello, everyone. Hello, Suzanne and Shoshi. And I can never read your, I'm going to call you, what does that say? I so want to say that word, but I can't say it. I'll call you D. I'm live. I am live. And who else is here? Karina, hello. Okay. So let's get started with talking about gratitude and how it actually affects your brain. It's fascinating. So Duchess. Okay. That's right. You have to tell me this over and over again, because when I see a hug, I freeze. What does that say? All right, we're going to talk about gratitude and our brains in just a second here. So if that sounds good, hit subscribe if you've not already done so. Pop the thumbs up, boop, and let's go. All right. Okay, gratitude. You're always hearing make gratitude lists, right? Why? Just because it makes you feel better a little, why does it make you feel better? What is going on? Okay, I'm fascinated by this because it actually changes your brain to have gratitude in several ways, not just one way. So here are some of the ways, and it's fascinating. And at the end, we can talk about ways to show or experience or acknowledge gratitude. So there was a study by people called Joel Wong and Joshua Brown. All right. And in the study, they did an MRI study of brains of people who they asked to, they gave them spending money and they told them to go pay it forward, buy coffee for people in line or whatever. So they did this for a certain amount of time. And then they did MRI, practical MRI studies on their brain. And what they found was that a part of their brain was activated. The part of their brain that was activated is an area called the medial prefrontal cortex, which I just botched in pronunciation. All right. Medial prefrontal cortex. That is the part of your brain that is responsible for decision-making and learning. It is also the part of the brain that can get activated apparently when you have guilt or shame. Now, apparently what happens is this replaces, basically you're adding in a positive to an area of your brain where there's lots of negative potential. If you are a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you know that that part of your brain is activated with guilt and shame all the time, right? So this gives you a positive replacement for the part of your brain that gets activated. It's also the part of your brain responsible for learning and, learning and decision-making. We know how hard the cognitive function becomes when we're in the brain fog, right? We cannot make a decision. Learning becomes very difficult. We get scattered. We get distracted easily. So gratitude actually gets this part of the brain activated that is responsible for those things that are depleted from the stress, the anxiety, and the trauma. In other words, it can help you think better. It can help you have a more clear thought processes and increase learning and decision making. Fascinating to me. Okay, let's see. There were similar studies done with people who did gratitude letters, And they did them over time. So series of gratitude letters. And what they found was lasting effects in that part of the brain. So there you go. I think it's fascinating. And let's see. Since I am not a scientist, I'm just reading stuff that I found out, which I think is interesting, because sometimes after holidays or during holidays, especially ones that are forcing gratitude, I mean, we're supposed to be thankful. It's Thanksgiving, right? Sometimes we can just get really down, and it can feel like, why am I even doing this? And honestly, gratitude is the reason we say it over and over again, is because it's proven to help people with trauma and narcissistic abuse in particular heal. Well, here's some other reasons why. Okay. One thing that they found is that it may help your brain, because this area is activated, it may help your brain be more sensitive to the experience of gratitude. So in other words, it may not feel so great. It may not feel so anything at first, but as you practice gratitude, you become more sensitive to the experience of gratitude, and therefore it is more helpful for you. All right. Hello, Belle. Okay. What's going on? And then there's another study, a 2008 study by a person called Wood, and they're talking about a place in your brain called the anterior temporal cortex. All right. Basically, that's an area of in that part of the brain, they found that people who express gratitude naturally, who do it regularly in their life, had a higher level of gray matter in that part of the brain. All right. This all, to me, this is fascinating, because it's showing that positivity and giving and gratitude increase areas of activity, gray matter, and then we'll get to the neurotransmitters in a second. It increases things in part of your areas of your brain that actually benefit your life. So this is why I do it. Okay. It may not feel great. It may feel empty at first. Just keep going with it. And we'll talk about ways to express gratitude and how to get there. I'm grateful to be nice and warm indoors. Oh, is it cold out there? Hi, Christy. So another more probably quicker to notice effect on your brain is how gratitude affects the neurotransmitters. When you express gratitude, feel gratitude, you are releasing dopamine and serotonin. Those are your feel-good, a couple of your feel-good neurotransmitters. And when those are increased, depression can lift. That's not like to say you're not going to have depression. Clinical depression is something different, but the feelings, the depressive feelings of low serotonin, can be boosted through practicing gratitude. It can be boosted through practicing meditation as well. And meditation is a form of gratitude. So, all right. This is interesting to me. Okay, I'm going to see if I can explain this. I understand it. I'm just explaining brain stuff is not my forte, but I think it's interesting. So, gratitude can help you with toxic emotion release. This was the most interesting piece to me, because your limbic system, right? That's where your emotions are. They're in your limbic system. That's your thalamus, hypothalamus, amygdala, hippocampus, and something I can't pronounce. Okay, the important parts here for what we're talking about are the amygdala and the hippocampus. Those regulate your emotions and your well, they regulate a lot of things, but your emotions are the ones we're going to talk about here, because we know what happens to our emotions after narcissistic abuse, right? Hello, Sue. And how toxic, negative emotions are locked in us, right? So it can help, gratitude can actually help, can help release this, because gratitude creates a marked reduction in cortisol. What happens with cortisol in your brain when you're stressed out and when you're under toxic abuse and when you're recreating toxic abuse in your own, the trauma is recreating it within you through recurring toxic emotions that are inside of you, your amygdala swells from the release of cortisol, from the rising of cortisol. And when that happens, it activates the fight-flight response. So it makes you anxious. Now, what they're saying is gratitude actually helps to release this. It replaces, again, it activates the part of the brain that is responsible for learning and decision making, but it also lowers cortisol and thus is not activating the fight-flight response quite as much. Okay. There's so much more to this that this is as much as I could understand to give you guys for this moment. But you can see there's like all these amazing things that go on in your brain just from having gratitude. And those things actually are physiologically changing your brain and helping you heal. It's important. Gratitude is a huge piece of healing. And so let's talk about ways of expressing, showing, feeling, accessing gratitude. All right. Suzanne Bell is saying, I spent Thanksgiving alone and had free dinner delivered, spent the day in complete silence, praying and focusing on gratitude. And all the people out there who are in much worse situations, narc abuse. Oh, honey. Yes. How are you today? I'm glad we're here. Okay. And hi, Katie, sorry. Suzanne is saying, I'm grateful for David Tennant. Thank you. I am too. Wine, cheese, and yummy smells. And me. Oh, thank you. I'm grateful for you too. And Disney and hot men, chocolate, and the emotions of joy. All right. Okay. I was so tired and fatigued after Thanksgiving. I'm still recuperating. This is why we're talking about this today. Because, yeah, okay. The real reason that we have gratitude is not because some day tells us to, right? I'm worried about my dad who's not well. Oh, no. Need to speak with me privately. Okay. Okay, when you can. I'm here. All right. Okay, so you guys hit me up with ways that you show gratitude, feel gratitude, access gratitude within yourself so that we can help people. Number one, gratitude journal, of course, right? Gratitude journal, 10 things you're grateful for, 3 things you love about yourself every single day. I like it before bed so you can read it again in the morning and then you wake up with gratitude. You can email me, Belle, at coachlise, COACHLISEC @gmail.com. Does that work? And we'll figure it out. Let's see. So one thing that I thought was interesting in that study, that the first study is that I talked about, is that the first people that they talked about the changes in the brain in the areas that are responsible for decision-making and learning, where it actually benefited the person's brain, right? They were practicing gratitude through giving, which is interesting to me that through, what is the word I want to use? Not giving, it is not thinking of it, basically giving, through offering giving toward other people. And I think that's why in survivor communities, we get such benefit from peer support and giving to others and all of that, right? But in simple ways, giving to other people. Now we have to be careful as people pleasers here. We're not giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, right? But in little ways, giving through generosity can give you a sense of gratitude. All right. Another thing, you don't need to be sorry, Belle. You're thankful for your morning cup of coffee. Yes. Another thing, a way to express gratitude is through letters or emails or texts or something where you just check in with people that you care about and offer some gratitude. You can just do it to a friend, offer them some nice thing, some words of kindness. What feels fake? Oh, I love when there's a question about it. Okay, let's go here first, then we'll come back. Thankful for spending the day cooking with my dad, letting him relax while I cleaned up. Hi, Christy. Okay, Duchess is saying, I've had trouble with tasks like this in the past. I try to find things I'm grateful for, but I feel like I hit a wall in my brain. I feel like I'm forcing myself to find something to be grateful for. It feels fake. Good point. That's why I'm saying that we have to find ways to access gratitude, and also why I pointed out how it actually benefits the brain, but you may not feel it right away, because this is just because it activates a part of your brain doesn't mean you're going to notice it right away, right? It takes building and time. You know how the brain, how our minds and our brains need to create new neural pathways. We need to create habit. And by doing that, something that's proven to be positive for you, the effects are felt often later, not necessarily right immediately. Now, it feeling fake in your thoughts, like you believing that it's fake, maybe change the dialogue about it. Instead of things you're grateful for, things that you think are funny. Or instead of things you're grateful for, things that you think are beautiful. Go out and look for 3 beautiful things today. Anything, even if it's a leaf on the ground, it doesn't matter. Anything, and feel the moment that you notice that it's beautiful. That's it. And then you can write that down. I saw a pretty leaf. It's going to sound ridiculous when you read it later. I saw a pretty leaf. Who cares? But it's the fact that you noticed that the leaf was pretty in the moment. It helps you have a positive mindset toward the world around you. All right. And does that make sense? Things that make you feel good. Yes. Things that make you feel good. Things that are, I remember saying this once to a therapist, actually, and she said, okay, Lise, what doesn't hurt? I said, the tip of my nose. And she said, fine, you're grateful for the tip of your nose. Like, all right, that does it. So it's like, it doesn't have to, just let me, boop, there. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be much. And it doesn't have to feel, it's not like you're going to write it down and be just like swelling with gratitude and feel so amazing. You just don't want to feel fake, right? So finding your way in, can play with it, and there's no right or wrong to it. All right. I wrote on the eraser board, I'm thankful for having everyone write on underneath what they are thankful for. I'm thankful for having everyone write. So, okay. All right. So paying someone a very honest compliment, it can be, or thanking them for something that they did for you, can be or for someone else even. Wow, I saw how you did that. Thank you. That was awesome. What you did, whatever, and when someone pays you a compliment, and especially one where it's in gratitude of you or something you've done for them or someone else, accept it. Take a breath, accept that that's how they feel. It's so hard to accept positivity coming toward us after we've had the positivity used against us, right? Accept it, take a breath, allow it to come in. Be uncomfortable, it's okay, but accept it. All right, I get to read it every day. That's nice. For me, it's really anything that makes me feel like my old self and not think about my ex. Oh, that's nice too. See, it can really be anything to be grateful for. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to feel fake. And anything that makes me laugh, I'm usually pretty grateful for that. Okay. Noticing and appreciating what is around you is a way of feeling gratitude. So maybe if you don't feel gratitude, the way to start isn't to just go at writing down random things you're supposed to be grateful for, or you think you should be grateful for, or you are, but you don't feel it. Maybe it's going out and noticing and appreciating things. Like I said earlier, with finding anything beautiful, anything funny, just noticing. But when you notice it, make sure you take the time, or try to take the time in the moment to just feel it, to be present to it. And how that is what is useful for that is mindfulness practices and mindfulness meditations, short, easy, simple mindfulness meditations to help you be present to what's going on around you, right? So that when you go out looking for things to notice and appreciate, hopefully you will, anything, just once a day, it doesn't matter. Like I always have my house plants and I always am like, I appreciate their greenness or whatever, So, all right. Seeking joy as well is a way to access your ability to feel gratitude and to feel gratitude simply and without any shoulds or around it, or it should be different, or even to just be able to feel, right? The positive, seeking things that are joyful. So not only noticing and appreciating what's already there, go out and actually hunt them down. Look for things that are good. That is a way to access gratitude. Yeah. And thankfulness, of course, being thankful to anyone have anything else that they do to, everyone listed and wrote what they were thankful for on the eraser. That's really fun. Yeah, I've done that in Span, and it's fun to read the long list of gratitude. I love it. So, okay. That's it for today. Unless you guys have anything else. It's short and sweet. I didn't want to not come on. But any ways that you can think of that I didn't think of quickly here to help people with gratitude? Or anyone want to talk about things they're grateful for? Anything you want. I don't care. We can keep going for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to head out and be back Monday. Yesterday got crazy. I meant to come on here too, but it got long. It didn't happen. I'm sorry. It was cook or come on here, and I figured I should probably cook. So how was everyone's holiday, and how are you guys now that is over, and as we enter into the other part of the holiday season? What do you guys need help with? I'm grateful for all of you as well. It is counterproductive to be grateful for something that is negative. For example, being grateful that you're leaving is it counterproductive? For example, being grateful you're leaving this wretched situation soon. No, I think sounds positive to me. That's framing it in the positive, right? I'm grateful I will be out of here soon. I don't think that's counterproductive. You can add to it. I'm grateful that I have the knowledge now that I have to understand what's going on. I'm grateful that things like that can be helpful when you're looking for things to be grateful for. And I think the reason to do 10 things, it's that many, because I know when you don't feel like it, that's like a ton. The reason is the practice and the repetition, and that what they're showing is that it takes repetition. It takes the repetition for it to have lasting effects on your brain. And the whole point is to have the lasting effects on your brain so that we are releasing the toxic emotions and replacing them with the positive emotions that are activating the same part of your brain. So if your amygdala is being activated from trauma and you're replacing the activation with something positive, can you see what's happening there? Yeah. And then you have a different response to it. So the amygdala is reacting to the positive, but it's not being inflamed and stuff by the cortisol from the negative. So the other parts of your brain where I don't know where that is, where you're creating neural pathways start to understand, oh, when I do this pattern here, there's a positive result. And it works together, and it's much better for you and your health and your brain. And there's a ton of reasons. I could have gone on a lot more detail here, but I didn't have the time to do a really long one today. So it's good for you. Let's just put it that way. Gratitude is good for you. So if it feels fake, like you said, I think things like you said right there are perfect. And then find some teeny tiny things. Find some things of all kinds. Something you like to eat, one thing you like to eat, one thing you like to do, one thing you enjoy, one thing you're grateful exists in this world. Like internet or something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how superficial it is either. Just get your mind in the framework of having, or in the mindset of having gratitude, right? All right. Because especially when if you're still with someone toxic, it's really hard. Everything feels oppressive, right? So, but we don't want to stay there. We want to get you healthy and out, right? All right. You take care too, Sue. You're welcome for the live chats. Anything you guys want to talk about next week, let me know. You can always reach me through any comment on any video. I read those and write down suggestions, as well as try to answer questions directly there if anyone needs something. Otherwise, hit thumbs up if you like these live streams. Hit subscribe if you've not already done so. And I'll be back Monday for a normal week, not a holiday week, right? And I don't know what we'll talk about. I don't have a plan yet. We'll have one by then. All right. And I think you guys are quiet, so I think we're good here. Belle, I think I gave you info how to find me. And I hope you guys are okay. Sorry, I'm reading what you're writing. All right. You guys take care. I'm going to head out. If you need to, if you want texting notification, am I going live? Text me 33222. Put the word Lise live, LISE, hit send, and you'll be texted about 10 minutes prior to every live stream, and that's it. All right, my friends, I'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.